Good evening. Today's session is DevOps. So in today's class, we'll discuss what is DevOps. What is the importance of DevOps? Okay. Let's say I have an IT company. I want to bring my company into like top 100, top 50 position. Like I want to make this company in the top place. What I need to do? How can I achieve that? Means you need to deliver the applications faster. Like if you're getting any work, you need to deliver them faster. Not only delivering faster, like at the same time, the quality should be also high. The application quality should be with higher quality and with less spending. Less spending means with minimum budget. With minimal budget, how you are giving high quality output to the client with reduced outages. Reduced outages means like avoiding downtime of the server. If you achieve all these things, then you can bring your company into top position. So how can we achieve faster delivery with higher quality, lesser spending and reduced outages? We'll see that. Here is our railway minister. In India, passengers want to travel from one place to another place. So they are going to railway station to book the tickets and they're traveling. Assume right now there is no online ticketing platforms like IRCTC. People like going to railway station, standing in the queues, uh, they are getting the train tickets. So railway minister got an idea. So instead of booking the tickets on offline, we can introduce a new software so that people can book the tickets from their home only. So he got an idea. But as a railway minister, can he develop that application? Means no, he can't do that. So he went to one IT company. He's talking to the manager. He told all his requirements. Like if passenger wants to travel from one place to another, instead of buying the tickets, going to railway station, they should book the tickets from online ticketing platform like any IRCTC kind of application he's asking to develop. So this manager is discussing with the team, like, is it possible to do that? If it possible, like how many days it needs, like duration, how much duration it needs. Like they're thinking like 1 year duration, like budget. Like they're thinking the budget will be like around like 2 crore budget. And he's acknowledging to the railway minister, okay, we will do this application development, but for that we need 1 week, 1 year time with 2 crore budget. If railway minister agrees, then this company will start working on this task. Here, what do we call the task? This railway minister is giving some task, right? What do we call that task? Any idea?
Project. Project.
The task is nothing but project. Who is giving this project?
Railway Ministry.
So we should not call railway minister. Who is this person for
Client.
us? He is client. So client is giving a task, nothing but project, right? And we should do this project. Like we means like all the team members who are working in that project, they have to do this. Wherever the client is sitting, we call it as on-site. Like the client, this railway minister belongs to Delhi. So Delhi is on-site for us. On-site or onshore, we call. Like our team, our company is in Hyderabad. So we call it as offshore. Offshore means like where the team is working. Onshore means where the client is located. Like On like people think on-site means USA, on-site means UK, Australia. No, on-site means client location. If client is from Hyderabad, so Hyderabad is our on-site. Okay. Now, once the IT team received the project requirement, now they start working on first phase. They start working on designing the application. Like first they'll design like how many pages they need for IRCTC, like login page, registration page, and bookings page, payments page, different pages they'll design, and how the page should look like and which code they have to use, like JavaScript or Java or HTML. Like they'll design entire application, like entire website they'll design. Once the designing phase is completed, then in the next phase, developers start working on the code. Like developers will start writing the code. Once developers are ready with the code, then build a team. What this build team will do? Build team will compile the code. Whatever the code written by developers, that code is compiled by the build team, and they will generate that executable file. Like I have shown you in IAS class, right? Like .var file using Maven build tool, how we triggered the builds and executed that generated that exe file. Similarly, build team will compile the code, source code, and it will generate that executable file. So it is not like immediate process. Like today designing is completed, tomorrow coding is completed, day after tomorrow build also completed. No, so because it involves many things. Developers, like around 3 4 developers will be there. Each developer will distribute the task. Like one developer will work on login page, other developer work on registration page, other developer on payments page. Like they take some months of time because they have to write the code. They have to do unit test. Unit test means they have to check whether the code is working properly, syntax is correct or not without any errors. Even if the code is correct, sometimes the page is designed properly or not with functionality wise. If you are giving some username Arvind, password blank, it should not log in, right? So they have to design in a proper way. So once the coding is done, then only build team will have some work to do, build the application. After building is completed, then next comes testing team. So testing team will be ready with some hundreds of test cases, different types of test cases, like positive test cases, negative test cases. Like for example, one test case, like I have registered my details in IRCTC, like first name Arvind, last name, trainings, password 123 456. And if I log in with my username and password, my username Arvind, I have given password is 123 456. But if I just give 123, it is still taking me to the welcome page. So functionality wise, is it correct or wrong? If my
Wrong.
password 123 456, I have just given 123. It
It
should
is
not,
wrong.
yes, it should not take you to the login page, welcome page, but it is taking you to the welcome page. Whose mistake here? Purely developer's mistake. Developer has not written the code properly. But if testing team missed to test this login page, they did not perform this test case, and like deployment was happened, then everybody who involved here, coding team, they should take the blame. Testing team, they should also take, like mostly testing team should take the blame, not coding developers, because testing team is like final check. If you want to deploy the application, first testing team has to approve, yes, your application is working properly, all the test cases are passed everywhere. um, Functionality wise, all buttons are working, all the checkboxes are working, like bookings are working, logging is working, registration working. If they say everything is okay, then only we should proceed. If they identified some issues, then again developers will fix that issues. Okay. Then after testing team has approved, okay, everything looks fine, then comes QA team. QA means quality assurance. QA team, what they'll do, they will check the quality of the code. Writing the code is not the priority. See, how good the code is very important. So I am writing a code to print hello world, like hash in C language, like hash include stdio.h, I'm declaring variables int a is equals to 2, b is equals to 3, something like printf hello world. Like I have written some 10 lines to print this hello world, but my friend is writing a program to print hello world statements. He just did in 2 lines, like hash include printf hello world, but still he got hello world output. Even I also got hello world output, same output for both. But I have written the code in 10 lines, he written in 2 lines. It is executing in just 1 millisecond. It is executing in 100 milliseconds. It is executing in just 10 milliseconds. So execution wise, this is very fast, and lengthwise code also very less, but same output. So code quality wise, this code is very good. Though both are giving the correct output, quality wise, which code is better, this one or this one, means this is better. So QA team will do that. QA team will perform the code quality test. Like if everything is good, code is fine, everything is fine. Then next stage. So here, whoever involved to develop this application, irctc.var file. So here all these teams are involved to develop this application. What is application? Like who are all these, means developers. So these all the teams, designing team, coding, build, testing, QA, like all the teams are involved for developing the application. Finally, the application was developed. This is my final executable product. Now, if I call to railway minister, sir, can you come to my office? Like your application was ready. You take this file. I'll send you this in email. Means, can he deploy? Hmm?
No.
He can't do it. Just give me a minute. I'm getting call. Yes. If I'm asking to my railway minister, yeah, you can take this file and you can deploy the application, means he can't do anything because he's a non-technical person. Who has to do, means as a cloud engineers, as a DevOps engineer, sorry, as a administration team, as a operations team, we have to do that. Now operations team comes into the picture. So next comes deployment stage. Who will deploy the application, means operations team will take this file. They'll take this file and they'll deploy this file in client machine. Like they'll deploy this in servers, either in EC2 instances they'll deploy. If you're using physical servers, they'll deploy the application in physical servers or on-premises servers, like cloud servers, whatever uh, the machine we are using, in that servers will deploy the application. Once the deployment was done, then monitoring team. What does monitoring team will do? Monitoring team will monitor the applications, whether the application is working properly or not. And monitoring team will monitor the resources, whether the CPU utilization is okay, or disk space is okay, storage is exceeding or what. Like they monitor all the metrics. They sit in front of the system like laptop 24/7. They come in the shifts, morning shift, evening shift. They monitor the application as well as resources. And finally, maintenance team. So this maintenance team, two things: either this software company has to take care of maintenance, means this software company have to look after the maintenance of this application. Otherwise, as an operations team, these people, what they'll do, they'll call to railway minister. Say, minister, you please appoint two software employees from your side. We will guide them, we will explain them how the application is working, how the app code is deployed, everything we'll explain to them, so that they will look after this. Once the deployment is done, once the application is working successfully, so here, if they want to take care of maintenance, we will explain to them. We will explain to the client. So from client side, there will be 2 or 3 some software employees. They will take care of maintenance. That's all. Project is done. Project is completed. Now everyone who is typing www.irctc.com, they can access the website. Okay. You take any project in the world. So these are the stages. Starting designing, coding, build, test, QA, deployment, monitoring. They have to follow all these stages. I'll give you one example of maintenance. You went to State Bank of India to deposit the money. You took some 10,000 cash. You're standing in the queue. Your line came. You are giving 10,000 for depositing to deposit. So that bank employee is telling server is down or application is not working. Who will resolve this issue? Whether the SBI bank manager will resolve the issue, he will modify the code and he will fix the issue, or the company, the software company who developed this SBI banking application, they will take care of this. Who will fix this issue? Software company or state bank manager?
IT company.
Anyone who is thinking the SBI manager will modify the code and will he fix the issue?
Maintenance team.
Maintenance team, who is that? SBI maintenance or who?
IT engineer.
Hmm?
It's maybe the employee of that bank or maybe the employee of the IT company.
My question is clear. If some issue with application, who will fix that issue? SBI manager or IT team? Software.
IT team.
IT team.
State bank employees are responsible for the work which has to be taken care by like banking things only. They don't know how the application was written, which programming they used, how many test cases, like how many programs, how about is the database backend, how many tables are there. They don't know anything. They're purely non-technical. You're going to ATM to withdraw money, but you don't know what software is running in that ATM machine. You don't know anything. You are just a user, but you know how to withdraw money. You know how to deposit money in ATM machine. You know how to work with that, but you don't know how that app is running, what coding is used. You don't know, right? Same here also. Like you take any application, everywhere software company, software IT employees. Okay, here also, even if some issue happened here, then immediately this maintenance team will raise incidents like priority wise. If it is a normal issue in, then they will raise some like minor ticket. If that is a severe critical level issue, then they'll raise one ticket with the blocker. Then immediately the developers, everyone, the software company who developed the application, once they receive the ticket, they have to work on it and they have to fix immediately as soon as possible within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, because banking application was down, right? If they're raising some blocker ticket, you have to fix that. So who, like as a developer, I don't know whether the banking application is working or not after the deployment. Deployment is done, banking application is working. I mean, IRCTC application is working, but after 5, 6 months, suddenly that payments page is not working in IRCTC. As a developer, I don't know. I am doing my works in my project, but maintenance team, they'll get to know these things. They'll receive that incidents, blocker, priority, or critical tickets, blocker tickets.
It
They'll
is
get,
called bug, right?
yeah, bug means if any issue in the development. Okay, so there are different types like bugs, fixes, stories, different based on the issue. We will define that ticket. Again, team will work on that. Understood now?
Yes, Aravind. Yeah, one question. Giving test cases to the QA, is it a responsibility of dev team or it's a responsibility of QA?
Sometimes issue is not related to just testing cases are paused or not, code is correct or not. No. See, sometimes if the traffic is more people are accessing, your application is running on site, like on premises, physical servers. If more traffic is there, you visited to Me Seva, right? Many times in Me Seva, you want to apply for PAN card or voter ID card. They'll say server is down. Server down means like every time, like developers didn't make the issue in the code, right?
Correct. The initial onboarding of the application, so QA team need to know what need to be tested, right? So that is the QA responsibility or development
QA
team.
is responsible to check the code quality only.
Okay. Test cases.
This team is responsible for testing application, like how functionality of the application, like how the app is working, whether it is working properly or not. Like test cases, right? Your username should be correct, your password should be correct. If the OTP is generated, you should enter the correct OTP. If you give the wrong OTP, still it is taking you to the welcome page, then what is the app development? That is dummy, right? So it should be very secured, everything. So testing team will perform all types of test cases.
Okay. But nowadays I see like a testing and QA become a one single team.
Even if even cloud engineers also, we'll tell cloud engineers, but that person will do DevOps activities, that person will do AWS activities. It's like a combination of all things. Yeah, we'll come there. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, different stages are involved. So all these stages, like all the stages we are going through to finish this project. So this different cycles, like different stages of cycle, this is called SDLC, software development life cycle. SDLC. You take any project in the world, everyone has to follow this SDLC, software development life cycle. Like life cycle means, right, like normal human life cycle, like newborn baby, like then child, adult, like old age, like how the cycle will be there. Here also, you get any project, directly no one will deploy. First, they'll design the application, how our application should look like, how many buttons should be there, like use text boxes or radio buttons or check boxes, like they'll design or which programming language you need to use, front end, back end, which database. Once designing is completed, then they'll start doing coding. Like if you want to construct an apartment or home, directly you won't go there to the site. First, you will take the blueprint, how much area, like here, which room, like you'll take the blueprint, then you'll start working. Same here also. So this method, whatever we are following here, this is called waterfall method. This approach, whatever we are doing to deploy this application, like all the stages, like this is waterfall method. In waterfall method, we have some drawbacks. Like, let's say client came, railway minister, after 4 months, he came to our office and is telling, Arvind, can you introduce QR code option, phone pay method, Google Pay method for paying train tickets? Like as per requirement, net banking option is there, but recently phone pay has launched, right? So can you include this UPI payments method also, he's asking. But no middle requirements. If client is coming in the middle and giving requirements, no, in waterfall method will not take any requirements. And application was deployed in the server. It is successfully working in Linux machine, but it is not working in Windows machine. Then this operations team guy blaming to the developer, your code is not at all working properly, you made some mistakes. Then the developer is telling, no, maybe you didn't deploy the application properly. I have tested in my local machine, it is working properly in Windows, it is working properly in Linux. Maybe it's your mistake. So this is like miscommunications between operations like team and developer team. And delay in delivery. See, until coding is completed, build team doesn't have any work. Until build is done, testing team doesn't have any work. Until QA is done, like this is completed, deployment team will not deploy anything. So this is also a drawback. Like there is a delay in deployment of the application. Okay. So that's why to address the issues, whatever we are facing in waterfall method, we have a methodology. Any idea what is that methodology?
Agile.
Very good. Agile methodology. So in agile methodology, client gives requirements in the form of sprints. Okay. Client gives requirements in different sprints, like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. First sprint, they have to finish in 3 months. After 3 months, like in the 4th month, the client will come with a new sprint. At 7th month, client will come with like one more sprint. In sprint 1, he has given the requirements, like IRCTC application should work, like how the designing should be, like all the requirements he has given. Based on that, this IT team started working on designing the part, then coding, then building, then testing the application. So all these things stages are done. Like by end of the 3rd month, there is a deadline. Within the 3 months of period, they have to complete sprint 1. Once the sprint 1 is completed, then immediately client will send. He will not give the requirement immediately. He will give requirement in 4th month only, like 1 week before, like end of the 3rd month or in the first week of 4th month, he'll give new requirement like sprint 2. In sprint 2, he's asking some new changes, include phone pay option, GPay option, UPI, QR code, like different requirements. Okay. Again, IT team has to design, code, build, test, QA. Again, they'll take 3 months to complete this sprint. Again, at the end of the 7th month or first week of 7th month, like they'll work on this 3rd sprint. In sprint 3, again, he's asking to allow live location, some new requirements. It's like upgrading, like new features. He's coming with new features. So again, company has taken the new requirements. They'll started working on designing, coding, build, test, QA, and finally here they're deploying the application. So what difference we made here means first one is like middle requirements. So here whether the client can come with new requirements in middle of the project or not, according to the agreement, whether client is coming with new requirements or not in middle of the project.
Yes.
Client is giving new requirements, like when he's getting new thoughts, he's giving his new thoughts in the next sprint, like that. So we address the first issue, like new requirements. Then miscommunications. Here in Agile, like we started introducing like status calls, or you call stand-up calls or scrum calls. Here everyone in the team will attend the call. They'll discuss about the team up status, like who is working on which task, currently what is ongoing.
Story.
Yes, everyone has to explain their works. If something is wrong, for example, one developer is facing some issue with one of the things, then the manager will say, okay, you sit with this testing team people, like if that is not working properly, you both sit together, or you cloud team and you both sit together and you work on it, so that team coordination will be there. They'll try to resolve the issue as soon as possible without any confusions. So here also we are addressing that issue. But still, there is a delay in delivering the application. Even though the sprint 1 is done, sprint 2 is done, here sprint, finally the application is deploying at 3rd sprint only. Whatever the issues we have in agile methodology, so that we are addressing using which methodology? Any idea?
Sprint retrospective.
DevOps methodology. So DevOps is an advanced methodology of agile. Okay. The term DevOps is defined from developers, from developers dev, operations ops. So DevOps is a team who is having knowledge on development side as well as operations side. Nowadays, people like companies started hiring DevOps team. DevOps team should have knowledge on both like development side, operation side. No, that's why DevOps team is replacing this build team. DevOps team is replacing deployment team, DevOps is replacing monitoring team, DevOps is replacing maintenance team. These many teams, and still sometimes QA, sometimes not. So these many teams are replaced with DevOps. So earlier, if there are two people working in build team, two people working in QA, two people are in deploy, two people are monitoring, two people like overall, how much? 3, 4, 5. Overall, 10 people are there. Now, company is removing these 10 people and hiring only 2 DevOps engineers. So instead of paying here 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, like instead of paying 10 lakhs per month to all these 10 employees, now company is paying just like 3 lakhs per month for these 2 employees, like 1.5 lakh, 1.5 lakh. I'm just giving for your understanding purpose only these figures. Why? Because these 2 people are doing the activities of all these teams, right? So that's why here it is a saving for the company also, and it is like more benefit for the employees also. And in DevOps also we receive the requirements in the form of sprints, like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. But the difference is here, in sprint 1, once we receive the requirement, all the things are done. At the end of the third month only, we'll deploy the application. The deployment will be done at the end of the third month only. IRCTC is available in the market. And in second sprint, it's like upgrading the application, like coming with new features, introducing. In the first version of IRCTC, there is no phone pay. But after 3 months, again, IRCTC got an update. If you update that IRCTC application, they have introduced phone pay, Google Pay, QR code, everything. So this again here they are deploying the application. At the end of the third sprint, again they are deploying. So we are achieving faster delivery. Here, faster delivery also achieved. New requirements also achieved. Like this calls also there. So overall, DevOps is delivering the application like very fast, because at each stage we are introducing tools. Like at this coding stage, we are introducing Git tool. Build stage, we are introducing Maven tool. This is not comes under DevOps. For QA, we have different tools like check style. And deployment side, we have tools like Docker, Kubernetes. And monitoring side, we have tools like um, Datadog, Nagios, CloudWatch. So these are the tools. So all these tools are integrated with Jenkins. So we integrate Git with Jenkins, we integrate Maven with Jenkins, Sexcel with Jenkins, Docker with Jenkins, this with Jenkins. So who is going to install the tools? Who will integrate this? Means as a DevOps engineer, we install all the tools. We do this automation. If a developer has written the code, he will upload the code into GitHub. He will push the code into GitHub. Then immediately that code is pulled by Jenkins. Immediately that Jenkins will pull the code, send to Maven for building, and it will get the code. It will send for testing tool. Once testing is done, then it will take the code and check to check style. Like this cycle will go on. So this everything is automating the task. Who is doing this automation? As a DevOps engineer, like we create these pipelines, we install these tools for faster delivery of the application. So overall, what can I say means, all these things, whatever we discussed, faster delivery, we are achieving using DevOps, because we introduced different tools. We are delivering the application at every sprint with high quality, because at each stage we have tools, DevOps tools. Compared to manual work, if tools are doing the things, it will be like more quality. Like, of course, we will only set up the tools, but if everything is looking fine, then only it starts working, right? So can achieve higher quality with lesser spending, because earlier if 10 people are working, now only 2 DevOps engineers. So it is a saving for the company also, with reduced outages, with minimal downtime of the server. Now the application downtime will be reduced compared to the previous things. Why? Because as soon as fast the application is deploying, there is no delay in the delivery of the application. So we are achieving all these things with DevOps. What is DevOps? DevOps is a methodology in the software development and IT industry. So it is a methodology. It is not a coding language. It is not a programming language. It is not a tool. DevOps is a process. DevOps is a methodology. Used as a set of practices and tools, DevOps integrates and automates the work of software development. Means what it is telling, DevOps is a combination of software development and IT operations. This combination is called DevOps. So DevOps is a combination of software development and IT operations as a means for improving and shortening the system's development life cycle. So overall, to reduce the SDLC lifespan, to reduce the life cycle, we are achieving this using DevOps. So DevOps is used to achieve or to improve or to reduce this SDLC process. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
At least you got an idea right now. What is? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this is about DevOps. In our DevOps, we'll be discussing about different tools. So like at coding stage, we have tools like Git. So we'll be discussing what is Git, how a developer will push the code changes. Once he's writing the code changes in his laptop, where he will push the code changes, how he will push the code changes. I'll explain you with Git and GitHub. Then once the coding is done and pushed to GitHub, then build will happen. Like you already aware of how to install Maven build tool and how to execute the build. So at build stage, we'll be discussing about Maven build tool. Testing doesn't comes under DevOps. And at release, so here we have Jenkins. At deployment stage, we have Docker. Monitoring stage, like we are aware of CloudWatch, and we have like some Prometheus, Grafana also. Here we'll be discussing Prometheus, Grafana tools. At operations level, like here will be discussing with Ansible and Kubernetes also. And ticketing tool Jira. So these tools will be covering in our coming classes. For today, what is DevOps? Any questions? If you observe the difference in waterfall, agile, and DevOps, in waterfall methodology, this blue color is like designing. You have to design the application, then you write the code, then test, and finally deploy. But in agile methodology, we design, code, test, again sprint 2, design, code, test, sprint 3, design, code, test, sprint 4, design, code, test, and finally deploy. But in DevOps, design, code, test, deployment. Again, design, code, deployment. As soon as the sprint is done, we will deploy the application. Okay. So here is the differences between waterfall, agile, and this one. Work with small chunks. Who is this? Who is Duriya? Okay, that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. So, okay, thank you all. Bye.
Thank